Hi guys, Frankie here. Today I'm bringing you a jam-packed 5-day adventure around Western Japan, all based around the theme of water. I'll be taking you through shrines and temples, trying sake, tea, traditional crafts, hot springs, and more, from the river to the sea to the mountains. Let's get right into it. We started off bright and early in Osaka for a cruise along the Hyogo River on the Ofune Camome. They have a variety of day and nighttime courses, including this breakfast cruise. The ride lasts about 80 minutes and can accommodate up to 8 passengers. For the meal, they partner with Sugigohei, a farm in northern Osaka, and serve the farmer's breakfast, which consists of rice flour bread. Ours was filled with lotus root, vegetables, fruit, and tea. If you're a fan of architecture, you might be familiar with Tadao Ando. He's known for his minimalist and modern style and has a number of famous works in Japan and around the world. He was actually born in Osaka. Woo, Kansai! So you can find many of his works around here, including this water temple on Awaji Island called Hompukuji. The structure plays with light and shadow and gives a unique sensorial experience. If you visit in summer, you'll find water lilies and lotus flowers in the pool. After working up an appetite on the steps of Hompukuji, we headed over to Greenarium, where they not only have an amazing restaurant, but they also offer tomato and strawberry picking. Their restaurant has a lot of dishes using tomatoes and strawberries. Their fields are as big as a baseball stadium, and they're growing blueberries, kiwi, and passion fruit as well. Awaji Island is part of Hyogo Prefecture and sits between Japan's main island of Honshu and the smaller island of Shikoku, which has 4 prefectures, including our next destination, Tokushima. It was a day for cruises. Next, we did the Hyotan-jima cruise, a 30-minute boat ride around the Shinmachi and Suketo rivers of Tokushima City. I saw a line of cherry blossoms in the distance, and luckily we stopped by. This was Tokushima Castle Ruins Park, and the blossoms you're seeing are an early blooming type called Hachikenya-Hama, native to Tokushima. After disembarking from the boat, you can stop by Tokushima Shinsen Nattokuichi, a small market that has a gift shop, fish nursery, and barbecue area. The next day, it was back to the mainland in Hyogo Prefecture. Sake is a huge part of Japanese culture, and I was glad to be visiting Kikumasamune Sake Brewery, a maker of Taru sake, or barrel sake. Kikumasamune has over 360 years of history, and we were lucky enough to get a tour of the workshop to see how the sake barrels are made. This is an incredibly important part of the Taru sake making process. To start, they use the finest Yoshino cedar trees that have aged at least 100 years. Next, we saw how the bamboo is shaped so it can be wrapped around the barrels. She makes it look very easy, but I'm sure it is quite difficult to shape it without splitting the bamboo. We also met a craftsman who makes the actual barrels. He's been doing this for over 30 years, which can be shown in the speed and seamlessness of his work. I like the sound. Did you know that traditionally at Japanese weddings, the couple would use wooden mallets to break open a sake barrel rather than cutting a cake? That's something I want to try. We got a chance to try the sake before we left, and we took a look around the gift shop. They sell skincare now too using the sake. Rosa bought some. After the brewery tour, we made our way up to Tottori, where we would eventually partake in a glorious night trek on Mount Daisen. But first, we checked into our accommodation for the evening, Kaike Onsen Kasuite. The ryokan is right on the beach, and from my window I could see the pine trees lining the Sea of Japan. Right now we're taking a quick break at the ryokan in Tottori. Tonight we're going on a night trek on Mount Daisen. That is a mountain I've never seen before. I've been to Tottori before, but not this part of it. And we saw Daisen, the mountain, from the car. It really looks like Mount Fuji. And there's a lot of snow on the mountain, so even though it's early March right now, I think it's gonna be really cold up there based on the snow. And also, we were told to bring, we were told to bundle up for tonight, so we'll see how intense the night trekking is gonna be, but I'm really excited. It looked really beautiful. So yeah. Before we do that, I have some of the strawberries from Awajishima yesterday. And then in the ryokan, they always give you like tea and a little snack. This is some kind of mochi, so yep. Gonna eat that and the strawberries so I have some energy for the night trek. So, yay! Also, after we did the sake brewery tour, they gave us each a bottle of this sake. This was the same one that we did a tasting of. It's very dry, but smooth at the same time. I don't know, I'm not really a sake connoisseur, so I'm not good at describing it, but it was really easy to drink. So, yay! Now I gotta use this to celebrate something. Mount Daisen is a dormant volcano and has been considered a holy mountain for centuries. With a few pilgrimage routes, some of which are more challenging than others, it stands at 1,729 meters, or 5,672 feet. Mount Daisen also has the largest beech tree forest in western Japan. Because of the beech trees, there's a really delicious water that flows down from the mountain, and it is a significant water source for Kansai. Back at the ryokan, an incredible multi-course meal was waiting for us. There was so much fresh seafood, local vegetables, tottori wagyu, and I also got to try awabi, abalone, for the first time. The onsen, or hot spring, is pretty much a given when you stay at a ryokan. Here, some of the rooms have a hot spring bath included, but there's also a public bath and 4 other private baths that can be reserved. Please note that I had permission to film inside the public bath after hours. Tattoos are not permitted in the public bath, so it's best for those with tattoos to reserve a private bath. The following day, we headed back to Hyogo for a brief stop at the Hikami-Kaido Watershed Field Museum, where they focus on education about biodiversity and global warming. The Hikami-Kaido is a unique lowland zone that connects 2 rivers that flow into both the Sea of Japan and the Seto Inland Sea, a combination which creates an interesting mix of flora and fauna. For lunch, we stopped by Kaya Yamano-ie, a hostel that also has a cafe where they serve seasonal produce and wild game. They also serve sake and craft beer. As we were waiting for our food, we took a look at some of the rooms. It looked really quiet and comfortable. I also liked the bathtubs, which seemed to be shigaraki pottery, my favorite. It's possible to rent out the entire hostel as well, something I might consider for a future getaway with friends. And the food, of course, was delicious. After lunch, we headed back towards Kyoto City to Fushimi Yume Hyakushu, a unique sake bar and cafe. We got a sake tasting set, amazake ole, sake over ice cream, and ice cream topped with kinako, soybean powder, and kuromitsu, a syrup similar to molasses.
If you try it. It's strong, right? Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Our final stop of the day was Gokonomiya Shrine, a shrine that's over 1,000 years old. People visit this shrine to pray for safe childbirth, but also for its pure spring water. I recommend bringing an empty bottle so you can fill it up with some of the spring water before you leave. Day 4 brought us to Uji, a small city in Kyoto Prefecture, south of Kyoto City. Uji is known for its shrines and temples, and also the production of high-quality uji-cha. We began our journey at Byodo-in, a UNESCO World Heritage Temple. It's one of the most important surviving examples of 11th century Buddhist architecture. Its Phoenix Hall may even look familiar to you.
Did you know that this is the building that is on the 10-yen coin? And they also have a sister temple in Hawaii, which I found out recently. Wow.
Byodo-in has a beautiful wisteria garden too that typically blooms from late April to early May. Outside of Byodo-in, there's a nice shopping street where you can find many cafes and restaurants with Uji tea-themed foods and treats. Ujigami Shrine is also a quick walk, and it is the guardian shrine for Byodo-in. It's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site as one of the historic monuments of ancient Kyoto. The shrine is known for its spring water, which is considered one of the 7 best waters of Uji. Because of its special qualities, it's one of the top choices for use in traditional tea ceremonies. We had lunch at Chazuna, which opened recently in Uji. You can find it inside Ocha to Uji no Machi Historical Park. Another important site in Uji is Amagase Dam. The dam was built for flood control, but it also supports a hydroelectric power station. It's an arch-shaped dam that is 73 meters tall and 254 meters long. They release water from the dam, and if it's sunny, a rainbow will form. Something else that opened recently in Uji is a little cafe called Hojicha. Hojicha is a roasted green tea, and it has a rich, nutty undertone without bitterness. At this cafe, they have hojicha, desserts, and drinks. There are only 10 seats, so I recommend making a reservation if you go on a weekday, but keep in mind that they don't take reservations on weekends and holidays. After a long day of walking, I was glad to check into our ryokan in Kameoka, slightly north of Kyoto City. Yunohana Onsen is a quiet hot spring town hidden in the mountains of Kameoka. We stayed at Yunohana Tsukiya, which opened in July 2021. It still looks brand new and is so clean and beautiful. My room had a private onsen on the balcony. Also worth noting that you need a minimum of 2 people to reserve a room here. Before dinner, I went to check out the public and private baths, with permission to film, of course. Tattoos are not permitted in the public baths here either, but luckily there are private ones that can be reserved without any additional charge in 45-minute increments. Dinner was amazing. If you stay at a ryokan, make sure you come hungry because there will be several courses. I took another dip in the onsen after dinner, did a bit of work back in my room, then called it a night. And finally, the last day. After a wonderful breakfast, we headed to an indigo dyeing factory in Kameoka called Kyoto Hozuai Kobo. Over 1,200 people a year participate in the indigo dyeing experiences held here. We were dyeing t-shirts. First, the master showed us some sample patterns, and then we made our own patterns. Kyoto's water indigo is considered some of the highest quality indigo and is even used in Tokushima, another area famous for their indigo dyeing. I didn't know you could also drink indigo in tea form, which has 10 times more antioxidant power than blueberries and 20 times more than broccoli. After we had our pattern set, it was time to actually dye the shirts. We were given rubber boots and 2 layers of gloves. I would like this t-shirt anyway, but it's even more rewarding that I dyed it myself. Lunch was at Mansion House Kyoto Kameoka Nakurakuso. The house was finished in 1898, and it is the former home of Gentaro Tanaka, founder of the Kyoto Railway Company. The house has a mix of Japanese and Western style rooms, and a beautiful garden. We made another stop at Izumo Daijingu after lunch, a shrine known for its pure drinking water. Drinking the water from the well is believed to bring good luck. They also say you will meet your true love if you visit this shrine. We planned to do a rafting experience down the Hozu River from Kameoka to Arashiyama, but plans changed due to the weather. It worked out nicely though because we got to take a ride on the Sakano Romantic Train, or the Todoko, a sightseeing train that takes you down the Hozu River, just like the raft would have. This train is very, very popular in spring and autumn. Make sure to book in advance. It was really cool to eat lunch at the founder's home and then ride the train he built. The train leaves you in Arashiyama, which you may know for Kyoto's famous bamboo forest. And that is where I will leave you. This was an incredible journey that I will never forget. I hope it gives you lots of new ideas for things to do when you visit Japan, more specifically Western Japan. If you made it through to the end, thank you so much for watching. Catch you again soon. Bye!
She's stuck.
She's fighting nature. I told her.
Hello? What's the order?